Eric, did you know that the Browns have other positions of need aside from wide receiver and offensive lineman?
Yeah, like front office and ownership. There are other parts of the team that we need to fill, and that's what this show is. We're going to cover guys from tight ends to fullbacks, believe it or not, a little all over the board. Make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, and give us a call. Call us at 216-260-3433 and leave us a voicemail. We'll put you on the next show. Noah, we're talking the best of the rest.
We are talking the best of the rest, indeed. And I think there's a lot of players out there that make sense in terms of maybe backup roles or slot corner. We have a whole slide for that basically because we do have a wide hole at slot corner right now. So let's just jump into it and talk about these prospects. And you see with the first two, there's a lot of Ravens connections, as is true with who our new head coach is. The first one is Isaiah Likely. He was the backup tight end in Baltimore, for those who don't know. One touchdown, 307 yards, 21.9 yards per game. He is only 25 years of age. What do you think about Isaiah Likely, his fit with the Browns, and does he make sense for us?
Yeah, you alluded to it. He's been stuck behind Mark Andrews there in Baltimore. But he's flashed ability when he's gotten those opportunities. I think that at 25, he's young enough to be a guy that can grow with Shador Sanders and gives us a legit two tight end set with Fannin. Yes, I think he's a fit for the Browns. We need another pass catching tight end, and he's affordable as well. Sign him to like a 3-year, $18 million deal. Let him prove that he can be more than a backup would be where I would go with this. But I will say, see our draft video because I have a different guy in mind who we can pull through the draft. But I do like Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, I do too as well. He's actually one of the names that I would love to bring in free agency just because I don't think he is going to push a crazy dollar amount and to bring in a new backup tight end since David Njoku is officially leaving the team. He posted that, of course. I think Isaiah likely makes a lot of sense because of his connection and his fit and understanding of what Todd Monken wants, of course, as well as to come in behind a young guy. And he is a young guy as well. So he fits the timeline of trying to get younger on offense, which is another thing I like. But to come in, kind of help Harold Fannin find his footing in Todd Monken's offense, I think it just makes a ton of sense. Just like I think the next guy makes a ton of sense because of Todd Monken in Patrick Ricard. Why don't you give him the statsy?
Yeah, 0 touchdowns, 11 yards, 1 yard a game, 31 years of age. This is the last true fullback in football, right? So if you want to commit to the run, he's going to be your lead blocker that's making it work. Does he fit on the Browns, though? My answer is probably no. So, first of all, nostalgia doesn't block linebackers, but Ricard will. He is a positive in that run game. My problem here lies within his age. To sign a guy at 31 years of age to a fullback position, I just don't know that this is going to help us offensively like you think it is. I think this is a bit of a stretch here, and I'm not a fan.
See, I like it a lot because of the type of running that Todd Bunkin likes to run. Of course, he does a lot of the fullback based sets and stuff like that. And instead of bringing in a guy like my guy, Aiden Huntington, which if you watch some of the Aiden Huntington fullback tape, he was fine on defense and special teams. He was actually pretty solid at the interior, but the fullback tape just isn't good. And I think bringing in a guy like Ricard for a year or two, I know he's older, and we're talking like $1 million, $2 million. That's like what, pennies to the Browns normally. I
It's
think it
it's
makes
not the
the
money for me though.
what is it
It's
then?
it's how you use him in an 11-man set. So you have a guy that he's not catching passes. He's not going to be he had 307 yards. He's not really running the ball. So either he is blocking for one of our backs or he's useless, I guess picking up a block for the pass game, but he's useless for the pass game. So I just don't like it on that set. I think it burns a guy where we really need to draft wide receiver. We want another tight end. I just don't know that it makes sense here.
It does to me 100% because you're going to run these fullback sets. So instead of trying to plug and play a random guy like Aiden Huntington or some other D tackle, you bring in a guy that knows how to block, how Todd Munkin likes to block. You sign him for the cheap and you let him rock and roll in blocking situations only. It's not like you're bringing him in here to be a touchdown scorer or anything crazy. I mean, you might run like what, one fullback dive on 4th and 1 with him one time in the season. I mean, he has 11 yards on the season last year. He he is a glorified offensive lineman that does the full backside of blocking much better than just trying to plug and play a guy. And because Todd Monken likes to do it so much, that's why it makes sense to me.
And is 31. Let's move on though and talk about our guy Devin Bush because I think we both agree here. Devin Bush had a career resurgence in Cleveland last year: 125 tackles, 3 picks, 2 returned for touchdowns, including that one where he's trying to tell Myles Garrett, which is the picture here, ironically, block for me, man. Like, get that guy coming after me.
Yeah.
First of all, he is 27. That's a good age. I'm not saying that as a negative. He knows the defense already. That could change, of course, but he had a really good season and he's done nothing but kind of get better from us. I think you don't let him walk for nothing when we're already thin at linebacker.
Yeah, I think he is 100% needs to come back. That's where I'm at. I think how good he played last year, how well he ranks, he is worth every penny he's going to command on the open market. He's a low key name. Yes, he is a former first round or yeah, first round pick, but
Pittsburgh, right?
yeah, he went to Pittsburgh. He commanded Pro Bowl votes from this season. Not Pro Bowl votes, excuse me, all pro votes, which is obviously much more lucrative and much more worthy than a Pro Bowl selection. He is a damn good linebacker, and to bring him back in on this defense, I think should be a top priority. Track has him valued at 8.9 million a year for 3 years. I could see him commanding more than that, honestly, just with how good. And even though it was low key, it was a really good season for Devin Bush. And I think he'd be worth any penny, every penny that the Cleveland Browns could dish out to him. I'm honestly surprised that we didn't give him an extension during the season, so we didn't even have to worry about it or have this conversation.
Yeah, I hope we don't overanalyze and look at the offense this year. We need to the detriment though of this fantastic defense. Which, speaking of, let's move on to cornerback because that's what this next slide is all about. Starting with one Jamel Dean, he took a pay cut to stay in Tampa, and then he bailed. So, what's your take on Jamel Dean? Do you see it as a fit with Cleveland? I'm a hell yes on this one
Yeah, if they can spend the money and if he
if we
wants
can
to come
afford him.
here,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, 100% I would. He's gonna command maybe again, this is Spotrac, 12.5 million. I think he's worth it. I think he's one of, I mean, you could see by the rank, the PFF rank, he's third overall for corners. I think he's one of the best slot corners in the league. But if they don't want to spend that kind of money on corner, I get it because of some of the other names that we're gonna have here. Maybe one that's a familiar name that's recovering from an Achilles injury. Maybe they just want to deal him some money and bring him back to be the slot corner. I understand that thought process as well. But if they want to spend the money on Jamel Dean, I mean, I'm not going to complain. He's a damn good player. And if he'll come here, yes, sure, why not?
yeah, 3 picks, 25 receptions allowed, and I believe it was 2 forced fumbles as well. He is a top 5 corner, and I agree. I would love to have him if we can afford him. He gives us really elite depth and can play that press coverage well. Speaking of the familiar, these stats obviously for Martin Emerson Jr. are from 2024 because of that injury. Uh, our own guy, young corner, he's shown flashes, Noah. The question is, will he be a long-term starter or will he be depth for us?
Yeah, that is the question. Martin Emerson, I think, is a very interesting and intriguing bring back and bring in. I think this is ultimately the route that they're going to go for slot corner, and I don't mind it because he has shown flashes. I know the numbers don't look great for his 2024 season, but he was electric in 2023. And if he can retain most of his athletic ability and his explosiveness, despite the Achilles tear that he suffered during training camp of 2025, I think he has a good shot to be a really good corner still in this league, and a really good corner for us. So I think because of how low his value is, the familiarity between us and him, I think this is what ends up happening for the third corner, the slot corner position. Um, but again, I wouldn't mind any of the other names that we're talking about, whether it be Jamel Dean or the next guy, Roger McCary.
Yeah, he is moving on. He is a guy that I think is probably more of a backup kind of signing if somebody walks or we don't re-sign Emerson kind of deal. But another solid corner who's been pretty consistent in LA, reliable in zone coverage. Maybe not a shutdown guy, but he's pretty reliable in zone. This is the only if the price is right or insurance kind of signing.
Yeah, this is kinda like the fallback if Jamel or Martin doesn't work for me. I think he makes a lot of sense at slot corner. He's a damn good slot corner. He fits the timetable. I mean, he's only 26. He's only gonna command like $6 million, so it's not like you're paying him anything crazy in terms of NFL money. It would make sense, but again, I keep going back to Martin Emerson because I think that's the move that makes the most sense for both sides just moving forward. It'll be like a 1-year deal. But Roger McCary, I mean, he ranks well. You look at him, he's 27th ranked for corners. That's a pretty damn good ranking when you think about all the corners that play in the league for these teams. We're talking 2, 3 guys. So he makes sense, but I don't think it's anything crazy. I mean, we're talking slot corner right now, Eric. So it's not like we're bringing in
Yeah.
some crazy name. It's not Darrell Revis we're talking about bringing in here. We're talking about a third guy to cover slot receivers. You know what I mean?
Yes, and thank you for making me feel a little younger because the fact that you know Darrell Revis, even though he was a little pre Noah time. Um, listen, well, I should say Noah middle school time. I would be ecstatic if we could re-sign Devin Bush and throw in a Jamel Dean. I know maybe that's a lot to ask for, but that would be icing on the cake with this defense. It's already really good.
It is really good indeed. And only time will tell. I mean, we're coming up on free agency. And with that being said, Eric, I think it's time for us to put our money where our mouth is. And later this week, maybe we should put on our Andrew Barry caps and, sign some free agents and do our first mock draft. What do you think about that?
That sounds good to me. And on that note, the debate never ends, but the show does for now. We'll see you next time.